I had to put on my Marcus Garvey long sleeve today. Shout out to the Karen Hunter Global Majority brand. I was like, oh, we're going to be on brand today. We're going to be on brand. This is a very timely film that's coming out right now in light of everything that's happened. We've had Marcus Garvey's son on this show several times advocating for the posthumous pardon of his father. Samuel, I want to start first with you. Talk to us about what birthed this film for you and why you thought it was important to highlight Marcus Mosiah Garvey's story on the big screen.
Just plain and simple. At the time that the script was started, we were going through a real rough patch in the United States as far as our social climate was concerned. We had major losses of Black people. One of which is Ahmaud Arbery, the other is George Floyd. We just came off the passing of Sandra Bland, and there was many others leading up into that, including Trayvon Martin. And so I know during the period of George Floyd's passing, and we all took to the streets in our protests, and I was one of those individuals, who felt that my voice could be heard through protesting. And after days of doing it, I still came back home feeling unfulfilled and feeling like my voice still wasn't heard, and still that my purpose wasn't reached. And so I, based from my previous education of Marcus Garvey, I just knew that using his voice to get my voice out and to make a point and making an influence on our people would be significant and major. And so that's how the script started. And through the grace of God and the help of JIRARD and Alima, we were able to create this beautiful piece of work and be a voice for our people, and also be a strong force of inspiration as well.
Now, this film, as I understand it, is now available on Amazon Prime. Is that correct?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you have long are gone are the days, Samuel, where you are doing student film on just an iPhone. You have incorporated a team. You've got budget. You've got professional actors who are part of this project. And I just have to say, as someone who's been able to watch you and many of the other students who graduated through the Nate Parker Summer Film Institute program, I feel like a proud auntie. Like, this is amazing. JIRARD, I want to turn now to you. Because as I understand it, this was your first ever. This debut is the first ever narrative film about Marcus Garvey, and it is your narrative directorial debut. Talk to us about why this project was important for you and why it is so significant. I was actually kind of surprised that this is the first ever narrative film about Marcus Garvey. I feel like I've seen a lot of documentaries. Talk to us about why this particular format was the most appropriate one for you all to spread the word about what you wanted the public to know about Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
Oh yeah, just from a personal standpoint, as an artist, like you said, you named some of the people we worked with. My wife and I have a company. It's called the Digibees. You said it correctly, and we're just in a creative space now where we are very concerned with how we use our gifts, intentionality, leaving a legacy. That kind of thing. We have a 2-year-old daughter, and we've been trying for so long. Finally have a daughter. So that's just where our headspace is at. What are we going to leave behind? So when this opportunity came along, we already knew there was an empty space. We already knew that. My wife had just seen she had just heard a podcast, an NPR podcast about Marcus Garvey. She's like, why don't I know more about him? When she got the script, and then she gave me the script. She told me to read the script, and I was like, okay, let me check this out. And I also was working on a documentary previous to this about Black representation. And in my research for that project, I came across the fact that Garvey created the red, black, and green flag. And that's something I didn't know. And I was like, okay, why don't I know this information? And so that had me do it like a little deep dive, whatever, as well. So we were both like primed, it's like the ancestors giving us they're priming us to be ready for this project. So it's absolutely time. It's amazing that there hasn't been anything before this. Like you said, there have been documentaries, but there are no narrative films yet. And thankfully, it was a space that we could feel, and thankfully, it was us that was designed to lead this charge to be the first representation of Garvey on film in this way.
Wow.
You know, I say it all the time. There's a parallel to Birth of a Nation in my film because
Birth
they
of a Nation, the original one or the one that came out in 2015?
I love you, Dave Parker. No, to the original one.
Okay.
D.W. Griffith.
Yes.
And I'll just keep it real brief. In the movie, you see Stone Mountain, and you know, when Birth of a Nation came out, the Ku Klux Klan had been disbanded at the time. The film came out and ignited that passion again, and they reformed at the top of Stone Mountain. So Garvey meets them in Atlanta. I show Stone Mountain to like say this is him meeting them at their point where they're the strongest, when they're the strongest, and where they're the strongest, right? But it's also Birth of a Nation was like shown it's the first movie shown at the White House. The president said it was history written in lightning, you know, and it just has this enormous impact. And so I just know that narrative film has that ability. So this was absolutely the right way. Like, hopefully we could take, you know, if we can take some type of lead from, like, it's the most Garvey thing to do, because in creating the flag, it is a response. The flag is a response. There was a coon song called "Every Nation Has a Flag But the Coon," and so creating the flag was a response. Because first he got mad, but then he was like, "You know what? You're right. You are correct. So let me feel that need." So in response, the same type of thing. Like, you know, we are filling that space, and we are making sure that Garvey's legacy is solidified in this way. You know,
I love
hopefully we
this.
can inspire people to reach back and pull into Garvey's legacy and research it and learn more about it.
I'm reminded of Paul Robeson, who is one of his many famous quotes was, "The artist must elect to fight for freedom or slavery. There is no alternative. I've made my choice." And the fact that you both as artists chose to and are choosing to lend your art and creativity to producing in the spirit of Kuumba, the creativity principle of Kwanzaa, content that is not just beautifully shot, phenomenally acted, but educational, something that is going to fill in the gap so that nobody will ever have to say, as your wife did, "How come I don't know about this?" Because there will be accessible content for them that they will be able to now turn to. Samuel, I'm going to come back to you because you are the first actor. This is the first narrative film about Marcus Mosiah Garvey. So that makes you the first actor to portray Marcus Garvey in a narrative film. Give us a sense as to your understanding of the significance of that and that contribution and what it is that you want viewers to take away from the film.
First, I couldn't leading up into production. There wasn't a day that went by that I wasn't reminded of how significant my performance would be, whether it be JIRARD or from producers or family members, relatives, or other UNIA members across the world. Once they caught wind of what we were doing, you know, I knew based off of, for one, I knew what would lead me into success with my portrayal of Marcus Garvey was my authentic, genuine, raw passion for the love of our people. You know, I led with that first most. I'm the most. I haven't met, other than JIRARD and Stephen Golden in Kingston, Jamaica, I haven't met any other person who is such a strong advocate for Black people as much as I am. And so I knew that I was I knew that I was the perfect man for the job. And utilizing my training, you know, my years of training and acting, I knew that I was able to do it. I would be able to do it. I just wanted to make sure that though it being a groundbreaking performance in portrayal of Garvey, I wanted it to be as effective as possible. I think that was my truest concern. I wanted Black people of all ages, youth to old to seniors, I wanted them to watch my performance and be inspired and motivated by Garvey and be led by his spirit. You know, there's an understanding, for me, there was an understanding of knowing that in a physical form, Marcus Garvey is no longer here in a physical form. And people all over the world would see me or characterize me as the physical form of Garvey. of what's left behind. And so I just wanted to make sure across the board that that was possible. And you know, I mention all the time that the procedures and steps that I took to do that. You know, I fast. I did libations. I sacrificed things of myself that I felt would hinder me from portraying Garvey as accurate as possible. I tried to mock his lifestyle during that time, you know, in different ways and fashions. You know, I knew it was crucial. I knew it was significant. With the help of my team as well, while on set, like JIRARD and producers, even other castmates, you know, just affording me the time and space and allowing for me to go into what I call Garvey mode was significant as well. You know, we all put a lot of time into this, and it's one thing about a passion project. You know, you can't beat that. And I've done plenty of projects where, you know, the actor and the me as the actor and the director, you know, we would do business and then we'll meet on the day of shooting, and then that's just what it was. But with this project, JIRARD and I both were collectively majorly passionate. Like, you know, you can recall us sending text messages every night and every day, different things that we were finding about Garvey. And also, like, even just with different takes of scenes, you know, I would say, hey, I know we did this yesterday. I know we did this. You think we can do it again? Because I just think I can give Garvey a little bit on this side. And so, you know, it was a collective effort in general, but I knew that my portrayal would be the first. And with that came understanding of knowing how impactful I needed to be with my performance. And I do say that I did a great job at that because all over the world we showcase and screen this film, and people get a sense of I'd say they get re-energized while watching my portrayal. You know, so
the way you're describing it reminds me a little bit as to how people responded to Denzel's portrayal of Malcolm X. And so, you know, that was a film that for a lot of people, it took stories that we had known about. If we had read his autobiography, it really highlighted those stories in some powerful ways. We just have a moment left. This film is now available on Amazon Prime. JIRARD, talk to us about any potential ideas about taking this to the big screen. Is this at some point, are you all going to turn this into a feature film that can be shown across theaters, or what's the intention for expanding and building on the legacy that you've currently added to?
Oh, yes. So first of all, thank you for bringing up Malcolm X. It was a pivotal time. I was in my Malcolm X mode when they came out. I had the glasses, all that. I had read the autobiography. It was just a revelatory time for me. So thank you, Spike, for that. And of course, that was always in the forefront of my mind. Since he put that film out, that's been like the film that everything's been compared to. And it also opened the floodgate. Like, there wasn't much about Malcolm X before that, and now there have been so many projects. Hopefully we can do the same. But yes, absolutely. Our plan is to expand a feature would be nice, but our real intention or our real hope is to do a limited series. You know, something like 6 to 8 episodes, be able to really dig into. He has such a rich tapestry, such a very dense, narrative that we could really explore so much of it, and so much of the UNIA.
I like that better than a feature film. Feature film is going to limit you in time and scope, but this would, wow, that is fantastic.
Be able to do some character studies. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It would be an amazing opportunity. So that's what we're looking towards. That's what we're building towards.
Okay.
Being able to do that.
Okay. No, I love this. I'm excited for you guys. I cannot wait to, this is going to be a part of our Black History activities this weekend, is to watch the film. I'm looking forward to it. Samuel, you know, I've been rooting for you and your cohort for a very long time. And JIRARD, it's so good to see the collaboration between the two of you and everybody who is a part of your team. So for people who want to learn more about either of you, give us both of you, give us your social media handles. How can people follow you? I know we can go to Amazon Prime to see the film, but where else should we go to find and connect with both of you? And JIRARD, I'll start with you, and then Samuel, you can close us out.
Okay, so far as the movie, everything is Mosiah the movie, Mosiah the movie. That's all our social media handles. That's our websites, mosiahthemovie.com. So far as me, Instagram is PB as in like photography by JIRARD, JIRARD. That's me. And yeah, that's how you can find me. I'm on Facebook, JIRARD, as well. So you can also I'm connected to those movie sites as well, so that you can get to me either of those
Awesome.
things. And
All right, and
JIRARD.com as well.
Yes.
Okay.
In addition to Mosiah the Movie, like JIRARD mentioned, Mosiah the Movie on Instagram and also mosiahthemovie.com. Samuel Lee Fudge on Instagram, Samuel Lee Fudge on Facebook. Also, the Fudge Factory on Instagram and the Fudge Factory on Facebook. But in short, catch us in the whirlwind. The pace that this film is moving in, we will catch you before you can catch us. I guarantee you that.
I love it. I love it. I love the confidence. I love the commitment. And I love that you all were able to collaborate and birth this film.